These notes are designed to be exhaustive, incorporating advanced sociological theories, thinkers, critical analysis, and diverse examples suitable for a top-tier answer. 3.1 Relationship between science, technology, and nature. 1. Introduction, the core paradox. Human beings exist in a unique, eccentric position. We are biological creatures, nature, yet we cannot survive solely on our biology. We require an artificial layer, culture, science, and technology to exist. This creates a permanent tension. Are we part of nature, or are we masters over it? The shift. We have moved from the Holocene, stable climate allowing civilization, to the Anthropocene, where human activity is the dominant geological force. Key question. Does technology liberate us from nature's constraints, or does it alienate us from our life support systems? 2. The instinctual versus cultural world, theoretical deep dive, how humans supplement biological needs with socio-technological structures. A. The deficient being, Mangala Singh, Arnold Galen. Concept. German philosopher, sociologist Arnold Galen argued that humans are unfinished animals. Instinctual deficit. Animals have specialized instincts, e.g., a polar bear has fur for cold, a tiger has claws for hunting. They fit perfectly into a specific niche, Umwelt. Human vulnerability. Humans are born naked, defenseless, and with unspecialized senses. If left to pure nature, we would die. The solution. Humans must create a second nature called culture, technology. Example. We don't grow wings, biological. We build airplanes, technological. We don't have thick skin, biological. We build concrete houses, cultural. The role of institutions. To replace missing instincts, we create social institutions, laws, marriage, economy, that provide stability and relieve us from making fresh decisions every moment. B. Natural artificiality, Helmut Plessner. Concept. Plessner argued that it is natural for humans to be artificial. Eccentric position. Humans can step outside themselves and reflect. We are the only species that knows it is part of nature, yet feels separate from it. This separation drives us to invent tools and science to bridge the gap. C. The human exemptionalism paradigm, HEP, thinkers, Catton and Dunlap. The old view, HEP, believed that humans are exempt from ecological laws because we have culture, technology. The world is vast and unlimited. Social progress can continue indefinitely. The consequence, this led to the belief that science, nature, e.g., rainmaking, technology implies we don't need to wait for clouds. 3. Sociological perspectives on science, technology, and nature. A. The Frankfurt School, Critical Theory, Adorno and Horkheimer. Theory, Dialectic of Enlightenment. Argument, the drive to dominate nature via technology inevitably leads to the domination of human beings. Explanation, to control nature, e.g., build a dam, you must control people, displace villages, and force labor. Thus, man's mastery over nature is really the mastery of some men over other men with nature as the instrument. C.S. Lewis. B. The Metabolic Rift, Karl Marx, John Bellamy Foster. Concept. Capitalism and industrial technology create a rift in the natural soil cycle. Mechanism. Nutrients are taken from the rural soil, food, consumed in urban cities, and end up as waste, sewage, pollution, in rivers, instead of returning to the soil. Result. Science tries to fix this with chemical fertilizer, technological fix, which further degrades the soil, a vicious cycle. C. Actor network theory and Bruno Latour. Concept. Nature and society are not separate. They form a hybrid network. Parliament of Things, Latour argues that non-humans, microbes, ozone layer, scallops, are also actors. Science does not discover nature. It constructs a relationship with it. Example. The ozone hole didn't exist politically until scientific instruments, technology, visualized it and forced humans to ban CFC's action. D. Indian perspective, Radhakamal Mukherjee. Social ecology. He was one of the first to argue that Indian social structures, caste, village, evolved in response to ecological regions, river basins, forests. He warned that importing Western technology without understanding local ecology would lead to disaster, a prophecy fulfilled by the water crisis in Punjab. 4. Impact of the corona pandemic, HPAS 2020 context. The pandemic was a stress test for the science-nature relationship. A. Zoonosis, a socio-ecological product. Scientific view, it's a virus jumping from animal to human. Sociological view, it is a consequence of globalization invading nature. Evidence: deforestation for industrial agriculture pushes wild animals, bats, closer to human settlements. Lesson: technology, chainsaws, bulldozers, breached the species barrier and nature retaliated. B. Ulrich Beck's Risk Society and the Boomerang Effect. Theory: modernization produces risks that are invisible: virus, radiation, global, and irreversible. The boomerang: the risks we create fly back to hit us. The wealthy nations that funded deforestation, wet markets, were not immune to the virus. Failure of prediction: despite AI and supercomputers, science could not predict when or how the pandemic would start. It revealed the unknown unknowns of nature. C. The anthropopause, the great pause observation. During lockdowns, March to May 2020, global seismic noise dropped by 50% and CO2 emissions fell by 7%. Significance: it provided a control experiment. We saw what the earth looks like without human interference. Cleaner Ganga, blue skies in Delhi. It proved that ecosystems can regenerate if the technological machine stops, even briefly. D. Technology as savior versus divider. Positive: mRNA technology, vaccines, was a triumph of science over biological death. Negative: digital divide, the pandemic forced life online. Those without technology, rural poor, students without smartphones, were cut off from education and aid, deepening the nature-culture divide. Poor left to survive on nature, rich survived via technology. 5. Critical analysis, positive versus negative aspects. Aspect: technological optimism, Promethean view; technological skepticism, precautionary view, agriculture. GM crops, BT cotton, pest resistance, higher yields, food security. Biodiversity loss, monocultures wipe out local varieties, dependence on corporate seeds. Energy: renewables, solar, wind harness nature without consuming it. Green mining: solar panels need lithium, cobalt, leading to new ecological destruction in mining zones. Climate: geoengineering, ideas like solar radiation management to cool the earth artificially. Moral hazard: if we think tech can fix the climate, we won't stop polluting. Unforeseen side effects: daily life, smart cities, efficient water, waste management via IoT sensors. Disconnection, nature deficit disorder, Richard Louv, children recognize corporate logos better than local plants. 6. Way forward, reintegrating science and nature. From domination to stewardship, new ecological paradigm, NEP, accepting that human technology is bounded by ecological limits. Biomimicry, Janine Benush, science should imitate nature's designs, e.g., solar cells inspired by photosynthesis, rather than brute forcing nature. The One Health approach, integrating medical science, human, veterinary science, animal, and environmental science, nature, into one policy framework. You cannot have healthy humans on a sick planet. Democratization of science, moving from lab science to citizen science, e.g., local communities monitoring water quality, validating indigenous knowledge systems, IKS, alongside modern tech. 7. Conclusion. The relationship between science, technology, and nature is no longer about man versus wild. It is about recognizing that we are the wild. As Heidegger warned, technology should not be a framing that turns the world into a standing reserve of energy. Instead, post-pandemic wisdom suggests a techno-ecological synergy where science is used to protect the intricate web of life that sustains us, acknowledging that while technology saves time, nature saves the future.